audible to everybody. So let me put my slide deck here. Can you confirm if you can see my slide deck? Can anyone confirm?
Yeah, we can see it.
Well, so here we go. Welcome to the Database Availability Group and Auto-reseed session. Today, August 1 here and August 2 in Australia. I'm sorry for Australia and other Eastern country attendees. I could see some participation from Australia, Europe, and US and India. I'll move on to the slide. So about myself, Mayur has already explained about myself. I'm MVP from 2013. I'm MCSC 2013 in messaging, and I'm MCITP in 2010 and 2007. I write my blogs on msexchangeguru.com. Most of you might have already visited. If you have not, please please feel free to visit, and you can comment on any blog, wherever you have any issue, or you want to write anything. Okay, agenda of this hour is DAG and auto-reseed overview, benefits of DAG and auto-reseed, getting started with DAG and auto-reseed, database availability group configuration steps, database availability group configuration lab, auto-reseed configuration steps, and auto-reseed lab. All right, let's see. So DAG and auto-reseed overview. I'm thinking about the future. The way the technology is growing up, it says tomorrow, the next generation will say, outage? What is this? What is called outage? We don't live to have an outage. We always want to prevent the outage. We don't want any outage. And yes, we are making all our efforts to reduce the outage, and hopefully we will have no more outage in future. Now, Exchange 2013 is providing some capabilities which can avoid certain kind of outages, at least for Exchange DAG, and is going to avoid any outage. So now let's see how it's possible. Exchange 2013 clustering is called DAG. So previously we have heard different terms. Just Exchange clustering in 2003, then in Exchange 2007 we heard CCR and FCC, then in 2010 DAG, and 2013 DAG. So the next thing is how many copies we can have of the database. In 2007 we had CCR, so one active, one passive in CCR, and third in SCR, which is across the data center. In Exchange 2010, we had 12 copies. In Exchange 2013, we have 16 copies. So we can have 16 copies of the database, but with all these features, I don't think we require 16 copies of the database. But again, we have a possibility to have it. Now, in Exchange 2013, initially Microsoft reduced the number of databases to 50, but looking at the requirement, they have increased back to 100 databases, which was in Exchange 2010. Yeah, I worked for one of my customer where we had 48 databases and are all of over 1 terabyte. So yes, they had required to add more databases to maintain them easily, back up them easier and faster. So yeah, we had required more databases, and if we go beyond 50, it was not possible for 2013. So now it's possible if we apply cumulative update 2. Just to point out, we have a cumulative update 2 version 2 released a couple of days back. So if you had CO2 installed earlier, or if you're planning to, make sure you go for version 2. The next one is automatic DR activation with 3 data center. Yeah, this is called site resiliency. This is the actual site resiliency now. Earlier also we had site resiliency, which means we have DAG expanded across 2 Active Directory sites. But if production site fails, what are the options? It's going to fail your cluster, your DAG, your mail will be stopped. You will have to have manual intervention to move your services to disaster recovery site or a secondary data center. That was not a pure site resiliency. I would say now we have pure site resiliency. If we can have 2 data centers with databases and 3rd data center with a file share witness, we were at site resiliency. The site resiliency is with the DAG across 2 data centers and 3rd data center or VPN site which has the file share witness. So the concern here is file share witness and a data center both should not go down. If 2 of these will go down, then DAG needs manual intervention to bring it up. So in this case, if 1 data center goes down, we can still be up and running. Now the question comes around the OWA URL, I would say basically the namespace. So if we configure 2 records, 2 host records, one for this data center 1 and second for data center 2, then it can be working as a round robin. And if one data center goes down, we will still be up. There's no outage to the DAG. So your mailbox servers will be running. You can still be sleeping comfortably. Yeah, I mean, it's still not be panic. You'll be focusing on fixing the issue, not bringing up the production. Production will be still running. All right. So yes, that's another approach of Microsoft. Now Microsoft is focusing on keeping the production up, keeping the services up. As far as the services are up, you can focus on fixing the issue. Otherwise, what happens is we focus on bringing the services up, and then we go back and replace the hard disk or replace anything else, and bring the services up and then fix the actual issues. Another feature which is coming in 2013 is auto-reseeding with spare disk. So now Action 2013 provides auto-reseeding feature where your database disk goes down, and if you have attached another spare disk, it's going to reseed the DAG database without any intervention. Imagine if you are sleeping, and in the night at 1 a.m. it just goes down, and you get a call from help desk saying that we got an alert. Would you have a look? How does it feel? I woke up many times fixing this kind of issues. Yeah, and it's basically just one command to run, and if I have a disk, and it just starts reseeding. Nothing more than that I could do, but it disturbed me. Are you there? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you able to hear me? No. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Who is asking from there? Okay. So I was saying the auto reseed feature is gonna help you in fixing the auto reseed. It will reseed the disk automatically, and you don't require any intervention The moment you go to Office, you will find either it is reseeding or it has already reseeded the database. It depends on the size of the database. So I'm always recommending to keep the database as low as possible. So high availability I was talking about. High availability is a big topic. High availability means the availability of your services in any meetings. But
all that is a worker process that kicks off.
But it doesn't even if the hard disk fails, the high availability checking out the data base. If the server fails, the service should be up. Even if the site fails, the service should be up. We are in the model where we can say yes, we have a high availability of Exchange databases. Next is PAM, SAM, DAC mode. What is it?
They open up down the bottom.
If someone really wanted to know how DAG works, that is which database to be active and which database should not be active, have to take over, then we should know PAM, SAM, and DAC mode. It's very important. PAM is the primary active manager. SAM is secondary active manager. They work together. PAM takes care of the active database. So it brings the database, it decides which server should have the active database. And in case of any failure, SAM notifies PAM saying that, oh, this server has failed, which was the active database. Move to this server and activate the database. So then PAM activates the database. PAM works with the cluster group, so which means if one of the database server fails, PAM will move the cluster group to the different server as well. Talking about the DAC mode is very important, especially when we have two data centers, which will avoid the split brain syndrome. Just in case if there are two databases and they both get disconnected between each other, then it will avoid the split brain syndrome, which means both will not feel that we should get activated. So how it does is it assigns 0 and 1 bits. So the bit with 0 will not bring itself up. The database with the bit 1 will be the active database. The moment it sees that there's no active databases, and which was the last active database, it is down for a certain period. It moves the database to activate it. So that's it here. Benefits of DAG and Auto-reseed. Reduce manual effort. We have another copy of database. So we put down. We have to say we have all the emails in another database. Less database copies. Now with DAG and Auto-reseed, we can have less copies of the database. In one of my projects, I've seen we had 48 databases, and all of them had 6 copies, all across 12 servers. So if I think about it, I can simply go ahead and reduce at least 2 copies. So 2 copies means 48 for 48, 96 copies I'm going to reduce, which means 96 terabytes of data I'm going to reduce. Which means 96 terabytes of storage is available for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 12 terabytes of disk, 1 terabyte disk, extra disk on every server. That's a spare disk. And if anything goes down, this will take over and start copying the data. So in a way, Auto-reseed is going to save the cost of having more storage. So you don't need that much storage now, which to be on the safer side we used to have earlier. which means less disk. It also means we can have less servers. We may not go for 6 servers or 12 servers anymore. Less effort for system admins now. You don't need to look at the reseeding. You don't have to worry about it. You might just set up a SCOM alert saying that, this database started reseeding automatically at this time. And the next alert you can see, okay, this has completed. You're good. You don't need to have to log in every time and do the auto-reseeding. Oh yeah, no wake-up calls in the night, no outage in case of these 3 things, disk, server, and site failure. So definitely these are the benefits. So now, how can we get started with auto-DAG and auto-reseed? We need the following to achieve the DAG in auto high availability. Okay, this is the new term which I have invented. It is auto high availability. It's not just high availability, it's auto high availability, which means you don't have to do any manual effort to achieve this high availability if we configure it properly. So to have this done, we need minimum 2 servers, which is saying the minimum, the least. But I know most of the organization will go at least 4 servers and 5th one for the FSW. The minimum 2 servers required for the DAG, and then if you are going beyond the site, mostly you have 2 servers in one site and 2 in the other, and 1 in FSW. So there's 5 servers you use, but I'm saying it is still possible with 2 servers. And if we have a 3rd site, a VPN site, we can have the FSW there, and that can work out. Ensure failover clustering is installed on 2 mailbox DAG servers. Well, I'm just saying because it's going to save some time if it does not install already. Exchange 2013 is smart enough that it's going to install it. And the disk, I'm talking about the auto-reseed here, so that we can achieve the auto high availability. So N+1, the number of databases copies required, you need at least 1 extra disk so that disk can be taken place when any disk fails. Make sure that disk should have the same size as the database disk size. Yes, like I said, we need at least 3 data center, 3 to 13 data center or sites for site resiliencies. So given a point, we are still trying to identify if we can use Azure, Microsoft Azure, which is kind of a data center, online data center for us if you adopt the services. Still we are trying to find that whether we can have the FSW stored there, or if you can have something similar, just a small space on any ISP site, and you can have just a VPN, and you don't need to have a data center for just FSW. So that's why I said maybe 2 data centers, and the 3rd is some arrangement at the ISP space, which will have the FSW, and minimum 1 non-mailbox server for file share witness. Yes, in case we need another server, at least a Windows license for that server. Maybe Windows 7, Windows workstation will work for that matter. Now here are the steps for DAG configuration. It is very simple. Just a few steps. Log into the witness server, add Exchange trusted subsystem to local admin group, then come back to the Exchange server, open Exchange admin center, go to servers, go to database availability groups, click on plus sign there, and configure the following things. 4 configurations. We will see it in a further demo. Then click Save. It will start creating the DAG. Then add the DAG member server by clicking this icon. This is a special icon introduced here. If you have not seen it, you will see it. We will see it in the demo. Once you click it here, you need to add the servers and then save again, and it's gonna add the cluster services there and build a cluster. So now we'll have the cluster built. At this point of time, we can go ahead and check if the file share witness folder created or not. It should be created at this point of time. Then go to the database tab, then click on plus sign, add the new database, and configure all these configurations. The moment you will create the database in Exchange 2013, it's going to ask you to, it's going to give a warning saying that you need to restart the information store. I do that. I respect all the warnings which Microsoft software gives me. I follow all the warnings, and I do that information store restart. But it's always recommended to do this kind of change during the off-business hours because of this kind of warning. You cannot, of course, restart information store during the business hours. So obviously, do a planned outage. Make sure you involve change management. Make sure all your changes are approved, and then only do such kind of change, of course, off business hours. And for the organizations which are does not have any off business hour, which works 24/7, you will have to declare an outage, or you can move the current databases to different DAG or something. Remember, this is the new DAG you're building. If they were working without DAG, then it's okay. If they are on DAG, then it's better to move the databases to different server, and that way you can restart information store. Then we don't need to declare any outage. All right. Then if you want to add the second copy, yes, we want to add the second copy. There will be 3 dots showing there. Click on that and add the second server. And then seeding should restart. Seeding should start. Sorry about that. Once seeding completes, move the database to a different server by selecting Activate on the right side. It's the simplest we can do, and it should move without any issue. This is moving. The last step is moving just to test if other server is getting activated with the same database, and you can still access the mailbox. So now let's see the lab for DAG creation. Are you able to see my remote desktop?
Yes, it is loading.
All right. All right, so you can see I have 2 servers, 2013 VDC1 and VDC2, and I have a third is a workstation. This is just a Windows 7 workstation. This is not a server. I'm using this for FSW. It's not going to use my big resources, and the license will be cheaper. So this is the best software I would recommend to have the FSW, the file share witness. All right, so let's see how to create the DAG. Click on plus sign here. And give it a name. I would say VDC 20. All right, so VDC AUG is the DAG name. Witness, I'm giving the witness server name and W7. It has to be the FPDN, and my domain is VDC2013.edu, and my file share directory will be equal and backslash VDC AUG, and I'm going to use an IP of the same network. I love this number 127. Many people run away from this, and I'm going to click save. It's going to start creating the DAG, but it is still not installing the cluster. Now we come here, click on this Manage DAG Membership. And click on Save here. Now you can see the operations that it is installing, forming the cluster. I expect it to finish faster as I've already installed the failover cluster software application. All right, it's adding the second server. Now you can see it did create the file share witness and successfully completed this step. This is a good time to check if the file share witness is created here. Yes, you can see VDC August, VDC AUG here, and it has the modified time and date is created, which is good. Let's go to the database tab and add a database. All right, DB, okay, name here, DB10. I like the small names. The server 1, and I prefer the location here basis. Databases, DB10. I think it's databases here. I have a folder already created. Database. I'm sorry. I'll correct to database. And I've ensured that I've checked mount this database as soon as it's created. So as soon as it will be created, it will be part of the DAG. That's another fact. After create a database on the server, it will automatically be part of the DAG. So you don't have to do any other extra effort to make it part of DAG. All right, you can see the warning, like some information store. So this needs a restart. As this is my lab, I don't worry. I will just go ahead and restart the information store service. Well, if you just saw that cluster service disabled, it says old screen. I need to refresh. It's running. This is the information store. I'm restarting. Yeah. For my lab, I always do this way. That I install 2 servers here. This is both are domain controllers, and both has Exchange 2013. And this is not a recommended configuration from Microsoft for production. But I've seen few customers of mine which had a small number of users, like 10, 20, 30, 50. That's it. So they prefer to do this way because of the cost constraints for having multiple servers. But that's what is the concern, that it's not supported, but sometimes it works. It works this way. So they prefer, if you have a small organization, this works, but it's not recommended. If you go to Microsoft for any issue, Microsoft will clearly say, no, we don't support this configuration. And if this issue is coming, this can be because of that. So make sure when you go to Microsoft, you have an answer why you have this. All right. So I'll just refresh here. And then I would like to add a copy. Now you can see add database copy is available. It was not available earlier. Let's click on add database copy. And here, you just need to provide the server where you want to place the second copy. And we are good. Select the second server, click on save. That's it. It's going to create the second copy on the second server. All right. Meanwhile, it's creating the second copy. Let's move on to the slide deck and let's look at the reseeding steps. And then we can come back and do the move the database to different server once it will complete. All right, so we are back to the slide deck. Can everyone see that?
We are still on the lab page.
Oh,
It's lab. Yeah. It's loading.
okay.
It is like this.
All right, so I'll move on. All right, so yeah. Let's go and see the auto-reseed configuration steps. Okay, so Microsoft has extended DAG for these few properties, and there's some more properties which you can have a look. But these three, one is root path for databases and root path for volumes, and the number of volumes per databases per volume, database per volume. So to configure auto-reseed, we have to configure in this way. The way we just added few databases, which was not for auto-reseed, which was just an addition of the database. So if you want to do this way, we have to run these commands. Set database availability group, DAG 0, DAG name, and then the command, the path for database, then volume and number of database copies per volume. Then we have to create the directories, then mount the volume. So remember that we are not just creating a disk and adding to the drive letter, but we are mounting the volumes here. So it can be mounted to a folder. It's not required to have a drive letter. I have most of the disk already mounted, but I will show one of the disk how to mount it. Then creating the database folder. We'll go ahead and create a database folder. Sorry. Then we'll do the mount wall and create the mount point, which is the tricky step which you have to select the grid of the volume and mount it. And the next step is verifying the mount wall, whether it has added it. Then creating more structure, one for database and for log, and then create the database, and then mount the database, and then add the copy of the database. Once this is added, once the database is added, we can go ahead and disconnect. Maybe I would say this. We can just take the disk offline on the passive server. That way we can test whether the disk comes up or no. Second disk, it uses the spare disk automatically or no. That way we can check in a virtual lab. If it is on a hardware, you can simply remove the one of the database disk, which is a copy, and this is going to work. Let's see Auto-reseed lab. If you can see on the right side, index status failed and suspended. It's newly created database. I don't worry about it. It's going to fix itself in some time because it might be writing the indexing right now. So I'm okay with it. Now let's move on and do some configuration for auto-reseed. We are running out of time, so I did it some time back. So I have the events. Once we finish, we'll look at the events and see what happened when I did last time. All right, so I have the steps. I did a copy. I made a copy here so that I can just copy paste from here rather than learning the steps or typing it again and again. So my tag name is let's see here, VTC AUG. So I'm going to change it here. AUG. So we have just seen that it has created this, configured these properties and pointed to EDBs and the E-walls. Next is setting the databases per volume. C83. Sweet. So next is creating the root directories. I think I have it already created. EDDs and volumes, evals. So I have already this mounted and this mounted. So third step is done. Fourth is mounting the volume to these folders. So this is what we will see, that I have another disk available here. Disk number 3. This one is not assigned any drive letter or path. So I'm sorry. This is volume 1. This is volume 3. So this is volume 3. This doesn't have any drive letter. You can see it's empty here. How to mount it? This is the place where you have to come here, select mount in the following empty NTFS folder, and browse. Vol 3. Just give the name here, click OK. Click OK. And that's it. So now, what we're going to see is how it looks here. The third volume just came in here, just now it did. And so this is how you have to mount the volume on a folder. And so now we have 2 volumes with database. For the databases, and one spare volume. We don't have enough time to go for two databases, but I prefer this kind of a configuration. If you have to test, you can go ahead and test with 2 databases and 1 spare volume. That's the primary goal, to have more databases and reduce number of disk utilizations. Now I'm going to create this path, database folders. I have created for 2, but I'm going to just use 1. Now it's the main important task is coming. Remember, mount wall. Mount wall will work from Exchange Management Shell, but you will not be able to mount it from Exchange Management Shell. So to really mount it, you need to come here to command prompt and mount it. So if you tried my blog and try to make it work, if it didn't work, that's the cause that I have mentioned in my blog though. Alright, so this is the DB1, and I'm using this volume 1. See this one.
Prabhat, one question. This mountwall.exe is only in support tools command prompt or normal command prompt, or it is only with 2012?
It comes automatically with 2012, 2008, but
I'm not able to do it. That's the reason I'm asking.
I'm using in 2012. You should have it in 2012 by default. I did not install it from anywhere.
Okay. I can use that on Exchange Management Shell in 2010, but I'm not able to do it on Windows 2008 Server R2.
So, yeah, so it's in Windows 2012 it comes with it.
Okay.
So you need to have it Windows 2012. I would say.
Yeah.
Guys, please go offline so that we can finish off faster. So this is the command. It should look like you have to use the command prompt. Don't use Exchange Management Shell, because if I run the same command in Exchange Management Shell, it will not do anything. It has just mounted. You can see DB001 is also showing up there, so it's mounted there. once it is mounted, we have verified. Now I'm going to create this GDB, DB, and log folders. Okay, I'm ready for the creation of the new database, and this will be mounted on this drive for Auto-reseed. On this one, or this one. I'm sure that I have typed it, and DB name will be 001. So where's this? No. This is the path. Correct it. Alright, so this is going to create the database. Meanwhile, we have to go and ensure we do the same steps on server 2 so that we have the availability there as well. So I'm coming here on server 2, and I have what? I have all 3 volumes here. Let's check the mount wall. I have DB001 with the wall 1. Alright, so basically I have I've already configured this step here, so we have till this part we are good. So I'm gonna create these 2 directories so that when we add second database, it should be comfortably added. Now we can see the path here. Yes. All right. So would like to see what happened here. Okay, it asked for the information store restart. We are going to restart the information store. Service again. Here we go. As soon as it is done, I'm gonna mount the databases. Sorry, just the one database. All right, it's running back. And here we go. And as soon as it mounts the database, I'll create the database copy. Let's go and see what's happening here in database. All right, so it says active mounting. So at this moment the database is mounting. And it is going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, so okay, it's mounted. which is good. Isn't it? Okay, it's mounted. Now I'm going to create the second copy of this database. I have to just get this. I come here on the destination server where I have to create it. I prefer this way because this way could be faster. I'm sorry about the timing, guys. We are running a little bit of late because of some issues with the slide sharing earlier. All right. What's happening here? Same operation. Well, it says seeding in process, but it gave some error. Let's check on. Let's check here. What's going on? All right. It added the database, though it is suspended. All right. I'm good with it. I'm gonna update it. I'm gonna reseed it. I know it's gonna give us some warning, but that's a better way. If initially when you create a copy, it gets this kind of warning. It's better to yeah. So now it says it's better to clean up everything and then create the copy and create the reseeding. So now it's going to do the reseeding. What's happening? All right, it might have changed the status right now. That's why it is. Yeah. Let's say resume. Okay, it became healthy, which is good. All right. The moment it's healthy, I would like to move it to the passive server, which makes sense to me because if it says healthy, then I should be able to move it. So I have another command ready here. I'm going to run this command, skip client experience, which should avoid indexing check. Otherwise, indexing is not healthy right now. It's not going to move without that. So I'm just ignoring that and mounting it. So it's mounted on server 2, which is good, which means the database, regardless of that error, it is still copied correctly. It actually reseeded it properly. So now this is the time I'm going to go to server 1 in the disk management and remove take the disk offline. This is the disk I'm using. You can see by the disk size here, which should have reduced free space, which is or you can see here. has the database here. So it's Vault 1. It has reduced disk space 9.59 GB on the free space. So I'm going to go and take this disk offline. Alright, disk is offline. Now I have to come to this place in the event where in the application and services logs, Microsoft Exchange, high availability, seeding. If you come here and then if you refresh here, it will detect in some time. So I can show you the previous events when I did it last time. It is picking some different time here. Around this time, when I did it last time, it was around 3:55 a.m. here, and then it said automatic reseed manager is starting repair workflow. Fail suspended copy reseed of this database. Alright, this failed, but when it picked up, that matters. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time. So this time it picked up at 4:40. So overall it took me 45 minutes to start to maybe a little bit less. I can come back. But it's around 4:40. It started working again on the seeding part. So this one maybe. It's better. And it's here. Here it started the seeding. It is again at 4:40. So it took 45 minutes to understand that this disk has gone offline for any reason, and now it should start the seeding. And then it started seeding. Then initiated the seeding. Then you can see successfully completed. And here, this 8:26 is saying JB seeding has completed successfully on local copy. So now, because of 45 minutes difference, I will not be able to show you that how my disk is picking my disk right away and seeding it or not. But this is the events I could gather. You can see the local copy has seeded here. This was the final event around 4:41, and it seeded the database the way it was on the other disk. Now if I refresh it, sure.
Sorry to disturb you. We are just overshooting it.
Oh yeah, so we are done.
To remind you.
Yes, we are done. I'm very sorry about that. I'm sorry to all audience. Yeah, so this is the auto-reseeding, and that's the end of the lab. I'll go back to the slide deck and yeah, I would like to share. Okay, let's look at the summary here. What we learned today. Today we learned the benefits of Exchange 2013 and Auto-reseed. Exchange 2013 DAG configuration and lab configuration. Auto-reseed configuration and lab. The steps and lab. I'm sorry. The database DAG configuration steps and lab. Then Auto-reseed configuration steps and lab. Auto-reseed is very important, a little bit tricky. It's very easy to configure, but a little bit tricky. Testing would be better before moving the production on it. All right. I would like to thank you, everybody here. And you're most welcome to send the feedback to my email ID, and this is my blog. And I have a couple of links to share. Which has the configuration steps for DAG and
Thanks a lot, guys, for this lovely session, attending this session. I just want to have a quick pause about the feedback. Just a moment, I'm just creating this screen. So please give us your feedback, which will allow us to make more successful events like this. Thanks a lot. So I will stop the recording now.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.